this is Valerie Aiello, and you are listening to Idea Diary. Thanks for coming back, y'all, and hanging out. So today, I'm just gonna have these music marketing notes that I just want to get out there and off of my little note sheet so that I can archive it. So mainly for bands right now, I would say, in the apocalypse, that shows are not coming back for a long time. And I feel like maybe as outdoor concerts or something where people can be really spread out, that might be a thing. But I kind of envision that a lot more bands that are already super popular are going to get those gigs because everyone's going to just miss playing music, and everyone's going to... I feel like even bands that haven't played in a long time are feeling trapped in their houses and all that stuff. So getting out, any reason to get out and connect with people and do things and have something fun to do, I think big bands are going to jump at it at whatever cost, just to kind of test the waters, see what's happening. I feel like live music options, especially in small clubs where it used to be everyone would be sweating on each other and moshing, or just small rooms that everyone's breathing the same air and it's hot and sweaty. I don't see it coming back for a while. Not to mention all the places that couldn't afford their rent for 6 months or a year, or however long things end up being shut down because they just sold alcohol. In Texas, they shut down bars that if you're a restaurant and you sold 51% food and 49% liquor, you could be open. But if you sold mostly liquor, then you could not be open. So places that didn't serve food, I think, were totally shut down for, it's been a while. So anyway, so if we can take playing shows off the table, and you're not going to, because a lot of bands touring not so much in the United States. Could you tour and sell merch and pay your rent at home? Some, I guess, a few select bands could do that, but that was not a big reality. Whereas a lot of comics, that's all they do, is they go on the road and they sell merch. Bands, I don't think, not as much, it wasn't as a common thing. So I don't think a lot of bands were, at least smaller bands, were counting on shows, but definitely the bigger bands, I think, were definitely counting on shows to pay their giant mortgages and stuff. So I guess what I'm saying is shows are off the table, at least for now. So let's just pretend like that's not a thing. Selling music is probably off the table because a lot of the times you might sell a vinyl at a show, or some people still had CDs, and people aren't really buying music off iTunes anymore because you can listen to whatever you want for free. So the digital album sales is kind of off the table. So I feel like selling music in general is just, let's take that off the table. So now if you can't play shows and you can't sell music, what are you going to sell? Okay, so here are my ideas of things you could focus on right now if you're a musician. And, okay, so work on your merch. Merch doesn't just have to be t-shirts. Okay. It could be a million things. Merch could be tennis shoes. Merch could be a car. Merch could be whatever you could imagine is possible. That could be merch. Anything could be merch. There are perfume lines. There are candles. There are, coffee. I mean, there are so many things that could be merch. It's ridiculous. So I would say if you haven't set up a website that really can sell merch, not just a random website, an e-commerce type of website that you can sell something and ship it, then that could be something that you could work on right now. So I'm not trying to be condescending or like I know it all or have all the answers. I'm just giving ideas for bands, because I feel like there's a lot of opportunities that could be going on. So getting that merch, super crazy awesome, super crazy innovative, and super crazy fun, and make it easy to buy and have shipped and have people, join in on the fun with you. I think that's the number one thing you could be doing. Number 2 is a lot of bands are not great at marketing. So figuring out a plan to market your songs online. So I'm kind of leaning towards the daily show, like a daily podcast of some kind. I know there's this one girl, Lexland. She does a live request show on Facebook and YouTube. And I'm not sure she does it every day of the week, but she's definitely on there every week. And it's super cute. And anytime I pop on and listen, there's a ton of people engaged and talking to her and asking her questions. And, I think she has a tip jar. And she's just showing her personality. She's playing her songs. It's super adorable. And I would obviously be curious to know, is that enough? Does that create a living wage? Is it just kind of supplementary income? I could imagine that could possibly pay for rent. She's always on there. It's pretty good. And I can imagine people really donating. But I could be crazy. There's also a lot of bands going live on Twitch, and they're basically having a live broadcast of their band practice. And inside that band practice, people can tip you. So you can make $50 just at band practice, which is like crazy. That could pay for your whole rehearsal space easily. Plus, who knows how big it could get, but it definitely could pay for that rehearsal space. If not, just be a great marketing platform of some kind. Okay. Kind of to go along with that, you want to get people to fall in love with you as a personal brand, and then your music, consider that a second brand. And, those times when people have music in their lives, driving, cleaning, just whatever, working. There's a lot of reasons why people play music, and your band or, album could be the go-to listen to for somebody, because they're falling in love with you as a person and they're getting to know the music and loving that. So I would just consider you have 2 brands that you need to work on: personal brand and band brand. So number 4, bands aren't the best at being their own publicist. Now, probably no brand is. Unless you're a publicist for like 25 years, you're not really good at it. So, but the 25-year seasoned publicist cost, $30,000 a month or something. But you can DIY your publicity. So learning how to make a press sheet that is what a press sheet looks like in 2020. A lot of times you might make a press sheet thinking that it's really good, and it's like something from the 90s. And, just find out the current, study publicity and submit to 100 outlets. And it doesn't matter how big or small. If it's a podcast with 1 listener and the podcast is about the genre of music you play, like, who cares? go on it. All these big bands that are going on no one's doing in studio performances anyway, but so they're performing from their house, but they're going on all these mainstream shows. It's like they're totally missing a great opportunity, because those people aren't the gatekeepers anymore. What's happening right now is you have a direct connection with every single fan if you want it. So, I say work on your publicity strategy. And that could be simply getting your press sheets together and writing 100 places that you would love to know about you. But with publicity, from what I understand, is no one's going to put you on their show or write about you and just start selling your product. You've got to figure out a way how to make this story interesting. If somebody interviews you, what can you bring to their show? What can you teach somebody? What kind of value can you add? Is it just you're coming on and being funny, an entertaining sort of interview? That's fine, but you can't just expect people to sell you. You've got to kind of come to the table with something that is, entertaining to their audience or valuable to their audience in some way. So another thing is publicity, or after publicity, the other thing is publishing and royalties. So a lot of bands aren't really great with setting up their royalties and their songwriting publishing correctly. A lot of bands don't even know how to do it, and that's not a dig. It is complicated. And while you don't have time to necessarily perform or do music in the same way, like maybe this is the time where you really teach yourself about publishing and collecting royalties and what it means, and just take a break and just research and understand some of the business side that a lot of people I don't know if it's like a creative person thing, that it's hard to believe that you can make money, so you don't focus on the revenue streams as much, because it seems impossible that it's real. But it's possible, and research it, figure it out. At a professional level, you should know what's happening. Okay, the next thing is learn what it means to clear the song. So if Oreo cookies or whatever brand, cookie brand A, says we need a song in 3 hours that sounds like riding on a roller coaster and it's heavy metal, the person who can submit that song in 3 hours and it doesn't even have to be the perfect thing. It just has to be the right thing, because everyone's waited to the last minute to do something. And it's a go, go, go kind of atmosphere, from what I understand. When it comes to commercials needing songs, kind of the person that can take notes, go home, record it, submit it in like a really fast time period. I'm talking like 3 hours time period. Like a lot of times you don't get like a week to write a song. A lot of times it's like today. So the person that can go home, write and record and submit songs to these ad agencies, or a lot of times you might have an agent that helps you connect with the commercials, and there's a middleman of some kind. Anyway, learn what it means to clear the song, because say you are writing in a group, 2 or more, there can be all kinds of problems if everyone knows they're writing this cookie song for cookie brand A and they're submitting it, but not everyone's written off. There's like a professional way to do it. So you need to learn how to clear the song. And that can be a totally new revenue stream that you didn't have before the apocalypse hit. And, it it could be something. It's like, research it, take a look. So kind of back to publishing and royalties, just want to throw in there that figure out what the difference between ASCAP, BMI. If you haven't signed up yet, this might be the time to sign up, to figure it out. Okay, the next idea that you could be doing right now is collabs. And, you know, I was looking up some artists and things, and I was trying to figure out what is the difference, what are people doing that is helping them kind of elevate. And a lot of times people are writing songs with different artists. So Peaches might write a song with someone else, or, you know, Metallica might write a song with somebody else, or, you know, whoever, or Kanye writes a song with Katy Perry or something. Like, there's all these, a lot of the people that have kind of researched success and what was happening, they do a lot of collabs, even at an indie level. You know, one girl might play keyboards in like all these different bands and then collab with other people. Just the songwriting collab, I don't see it happening, especially, you know, two rock bands don't usually get together and write a song together, but why not? Like, it just seems like a missed opportunity, maybe. I think a lot of rap music will have, you know, somebody, there's a lot of collabs happening with that. Country, I think it's kind of old fashioned, but they still do. Just, you know, every genre of music does it. It's just not as, you know, it's probably a lot of work, but it can be worth it while nobody has anything to do. So working on collabs could be good. And hopefully you might, when you're working on your music marketing and getting people to fall in love with you and then your music, maybe you have a show and you're interviewing other bands that are similar to you, or, you know, you're on each other's podcast. You know, there's a million things that could be done. And I'm just making a short little video, hopefully getting y'all excited to maybe try other elements of your music business experience. You know, try something else other than just like playing shows and telling your friends to come to it and then they don't, or whatever. You know how it goes. All right, I think that's it. I think we've hit 15 minutes and I'm gonna wrap up the show. I still don't know how to end the show, so I'm just gonna play the music.